Good day, everyone. It's your girl Ivy Catalogo from Bacolod.
And this is your other girl, Luther Dapat from La Carlota City, and this is
Late Night Talks with Ivy and Luther. Wow, sure is hot recently. Don't you agree, partner?
Yes, I certainly agree. Summer is ahead of us and we cannot really control the heat. Well, speaking of summer, are you ready for it?
Well, honestly speaking, I would love to spend my summer on the beach or even in the pool, but I don't think this pandemic would allow us to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, I think you have a point there. I would also go on a vacation if time allows us. I love to explore the nature and see the different colors and hue of our surroundings. How come would that be?
Speaking of natures and colors, do you know that our topic are related to those?
The nature?
Close enough, but the focus of our topic is about colors. Do you know something about it?
What about it?
Have you heard colorblindness?
I might as well have, but I don't really have the idea about it.
Well, colorblindness is an illness that makes you not properly see the real color surrounds you. You know, you see different hue and inaccurate one.
Well, that's too bad.
Exactly. Speaking of which, we have invited a special visitors with us today that would help us to understand what colorblindness really is and how to cope up with it.
We have?
Fortunately, yes, we have. Shall we call on our invited guest? So without further ado, let us all welcome Dr. Trisha Covacha and Dr. Kainadon Austria.
Whoa! You invited doctors? That's brilliant!
Sure, it is. This will not only benefit us, but would also benefit the viewers as well.
Precisely! I cannot wait to learn something new today. Let us welcome Dr. Covacha and Dr. Austria. Hello, doctors. How have you all been?
Well, hello there, Ive, and to you too, Luther. And also to those who are watching this now, we have been good, gladly, and we can't wait to share some knowledge with all of you. I hope you will learn something new today.
Exactly. With our topic for today, I hope by the end of this you will learn something about colorblindness.
Having two smart doctors? I don't think we'll end this show empty-minded.
Speaking of which, is colorblindness deadly?
That's a good question, Ive. However, it depends on what color blindness it is that you're dealing. It could be mild, moderate, or severe depending upon the defect. If you have inherited color blindness, your condition will stay the same all throughout your life and it won't get any worse.
Yes, exactly. Colorblindness is usually a genetic condition. So to answer your question, no, it is not deadly even though you have a severe case of it. Yes, it is frustrating, but not deadly.
Oh, I see. So even if you have acquired this, it won't be deadly at all.
Yeah, precisely. But sure, it is frustrating to have one. Imagine living your life without knowing what color it is that you have been looking for your whole life.
Actually, if you have color blindness, that doesn't mean that you get all the colors wrong.
How is that?
Agree. You see, like what we said earlier, it depends on the case of the person dealing with it. If you have a mild case, there's a possibility that you haven't noticed them yet. And since we get used to the way we see colors, many people with colorblindness may not know they have it.
So I could be colorblind without actually noticing it.
Probably, but we knew, right?
This is so interesting. How mind-blowing it is just thinking you may have been colorblinded without actually knowing it.
What's so exciting about it? Do you understand that we may have been seeing the color wrong? Imagine this. I'm wearing this collar, but what if I'm actually wearing transparent all along?
Are you crazy?
Just stating possibilities, partner.
That's cute, Luther, but to make you feel relieved, you're not wearing transparent.
Told you so, partner.
Yeah, no, right. But how do we actually acquire this? Does women have higher percentage than men?
To answer your first question, color blindness is usually genetic. Men have a much higher risk than women for color blindness.
You're most likely to have color blindness if you have family history of color blindness, having certain eye diseases like glaucoma or age-related macular degeneration or AMD.
Aside from that, it could also be acquired if you have health problems such as diabetes, Alzheimer, or multiple sclerosis. If you have damage or something that is connected with your eyes, such as your brain, you're most likely to be colorblind.
Oh, I see. So you can be colorblind despite of it not being genetic.
So that means that we need to be much more careful with our eyes because it is the only sense that we can use to see the beautiful nature.
Yes, indeed. It is really a bother when you found out you have been color blinded.
Agree. It must be so frustrating to have one. However, doctor, any general information about the illness?
Certainly, Luther. You see, color blindness occurs when you are unable to see colors in a normal way. It is also known as color deficiency. Color blindness often happens when someone cannot distinguish between certain colors. This usually happens between greens and reds and occasionally in blues. You know, in the retina, there are two types of cells that detect light. They are called rods and cones. Rods detect only light and dark and are very sensitive to low light levels.
There are different degrees of color blindness. Some people with mild color deficiencies can see colors normally in good light, but have difficulty in dim light. Others cannot distinguish certain colors in any light. The most severe form of color blindness, in which everything is seen in shades of gray, is uncommon. Color blindness usually affects both eyes equally and remains stable all throughout your life. Color blindness is something that you get from birth, but you can also get it later in life. Change in color vision can signify a more serious condition. Anyone who experiences a significant change in color perception should see an ophthalmologist.
Gray is such a sad color, and I don't know if I can live with it. But if I have one, how do I cope up with it?
Yeah, how do you exactly get used to it, knowing you've been seeing the colors wrongly? Dr. Austria?
Keep in mind that very few people are actually colorblind.
Few people?
Yes, only few people have those. So if you're colorblind, there's actually one thing that can help you the most.
What is it?
Ever heard of chroma glasses?
In chroma what?
So, in chroma glasses. You see, in chroma glasses claim to assist with detecting differences between colors. They also claim to add additional vibrancy to the colors that people with color blindness may not fully experience. The chroma glasses have been on the market for 8 years. Several viral internet videos show people who are colorblind putting on chroma glasses and for the first time seeing the world in full color.
And with that, to understand the science behind chroma glasses, it helps to know a little about how color blindness happens in the first place. The human eye contains 3 photopigments that are sensitive to color. These photopigments are located inside receptors in the retina called cones. The cones tells your eyes how much blue, red, green is in an object. Then they tell you information about what color objects are.
So, chroma glasses makes you see the real color, right?
Precisely, chroma glasses makes You see what you have been seeing wrong the whole time.
But before the enchroma glasses, what are the impacts of colorblindness on those affected by the condition?
Good question you have there. Colorblind people face many difficulties in everyday life, which normally sighted people just aren't aware of. Problems can arise in simplest of activities, including choosing and preparing food, gardening, sports, driving a car, and selecting which clothes to wear. Colorblind people can also find themselves in trouble because they haven't been able to pick up a change in somebody's mood by a change in the color of their face. Colorblindness can affect access to education, exam grades, and career choice.
And here are just a few examples of typical and everyday problems. Most red or green colorblind people would know if they have cooked a piece of meat, rare or well done, and they are unlikely to be able to tell the difference between green and ripe tomatoes, or between ketchup and chocolate sauce. In other cultures, colorblindness may be regarded as a defect. In Japan, for example, colorblind people are excluded from a number of careers, and in some communist countries, colorblind people are not permitted to drive because they are not always be able to read colored lights correctly.
Well, speaking of impacts, we have here an invited guest whom I've heard been colorblinded her whole life.
Yup, there is. When she found out our topic is related to her condition, she grabbed the opportunity to learn something about her condition. With us having such an amazing specialist, her wish will be granted.
So without further ado, let us call on our invited guest, Miss Kathleen Argoncillo from Bacolod City. Miss Kathleen?
Yes, hello, good day to everyone, especially to those who are watching.
Yes, good day to you too. Miss Kathleen, I've heard you've been eager to attend our shows after finding out the specialist we're having.
Yes, indeed, I've been more than eager if I'm being honest.
I can see that. With that smiley face you have there, I can see you have been excited to be here. So, Miss Kathleen, how does it feel to be colorblind your whole life? I mean, if I may ask.
Oh yes, of course, it feels normal when you live with someone in your life. It feels like it actually is normal to you. You know, since it's just color that you can clarify and not the whole thing. You won't realize that it isn't normal since you're the only one who knows about it, unless, of course, if you tell someone and point it out to you.
Oh, I see. You have lived and got used to it, which is actually a good thing.
Exactly. But you know what? During my early years as a teenager, I find it hard to live with it.
Why? Have you been bullied?
As a matter of fact, yes, I've been bullied a lot of times. I thought it's normal for me to see this kind of colors, so I wasn't actually bothered by everyone knowing.
You told everyone you're colorblind.
Well, I didn't actually told them. There are times where they would ask me about some certain colors and I couldn't answer them correctly, which leads it to that.
They bullied you after knowing that?
Yes, sometimes they would ask me if I have already seen a rainbow, then make fun of me, saying I only see gray things or just like what they love to call it black and white.
That's so cruel. Making fun of something when it's not actually your fault is so annoying and frustrating.
It was hard, but I got used to it. Special thanks to those who have been there for me, which is my so-called friends.
Wow, that's a relief in your part.
May I butt in?
Sure. What is it, Doc?
I just want to ask something. May I ask you, Kathleen?
Yes, of course, doctor. What is it?
I just want to know how complex it is to live like this every day.
Well, at first it was so complicated because I was always bullied. I always told myself that if I was normal, I wouldn't be made fun of. Not to mention, I always get jealous. I want to experience what they've been experiencing.
That's too bad.
Oh, it was, but like what I've said, I got used to it.
Have you tried chroma glasses?
I want to, but sadly, I don't have enough money for it.
That could be arranged later if you know what I mean. Anyway, before we end, this is your chance to ask them, Kathleen. It's not every day you'll find a doctor for free.
I can?
Yes, of course, Kath. That's what we're here for.
Oh, okay. Then, doctors,
Yes, we're all ears.
I just want to ask you, is there any modern solutions to the symptoms of colorblindness?
You see, Kathleen, there's no cure for colorblindness. That is passed down in families, but most people find ways to adjust to it. Children with colorblindness may need help with some classroom activities, and adults with colorblindness may not be able to do certain jobs, such as being a pilot or graphic designer. Keep in mind that most of the time, colorblindness doesn't cause serious problems.
Exactly. If your color blindness is happening because of another problem, your doctor will treat the condition that's causing the problem. If you're taking a medicine that causes color blindness, your doctor may adjust how much you take or suggest you to switch to a different medicine. But the best solution that we can suggest is chroma glasses.
I think being colorblind doesn't actually mean your life is over. Thanks to science, there's some solution.
We're just born lucky. Anyways, can I still ask one more question?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, of course, one by one, okay?
I'll go first then. Is there any ways of getting tested for colorblindness?
As a matter of fact, yes, there is.
Really? What are they?
Ever heard of color plate test and U test?
I kind of, but I actually don't have full knowledge of it.
So color plate test. This is the most common type of color blindness test. Your eye doctor will ask you to look at an image made up of colored dots with a different colored number or shape in the middle. If the shape blends into the background and you can see it, you may have a type of color blindness. Different color plates can check for different types of color blindness. And in U test, you'll get blocks that are different colors. Your eye doctor will have you arrange them in rainbow order, like from red to purple. If you have trouble putting them in the correct order, you may have a type of color blindness. Eye doctors often use this test for people who need to have very accurate color vision for their jobs, like photographers or designers.
Wow. I can say that it's not that complicated.
Exactly. You see, it is not that complex, since being colorblind isn't that also complicated. Always keep in mind that color blindness is normal.
It is normal for you to treat someone normal. Being colorblind isn't actually their choice, but a given illness that couldn't be cured.
That's just so sad to hear.
Yeah, it is. But my turn to ask.
Okay, Luther, let's hear yours.
Okay, so is there other information that you deem necessary? You know, like a need to know kind of thing for us to learn about.
Well, there is actually. That colorblindness is something we shouldn't fear about. If you're colorblinded, don't be discouraged. We have the solutions, just visit us. If you feel hopeless, don't be. we doctors are here to help you.
You heard them, folks, so don't be discouraged if you feel like your illness is a burden.
Agree. We have solution for it. And speaking of solution, Miss Kat, we have the solutions for you.
Solution?
Yes, solutions. Send us your complete details since the Enchroma glass will be there on their merry way.
Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me.
I think we actually know, Kat. So that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the end of our TV show.
And we would like to thank Dr. Covacha and Dr. Austria for joining us here today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, don't mention it. We're honored.
So, that's it, folks. It's your girl, Luther Dapat.
And this is Ivy Catalogo signing off for now. And this is
Late Night Talks with Ivy and Luther.